Discover the you that's been waiting. Are you ready to step into a life brimming with purpose and achievement? Let's unlock the extraordinary within you. Today we're diving deep into the power of daily action, the secret weapon of those who dare to achieve remarkable.
It's fascinating how much emphasis is placed on this idea. The power of action. It really is the bridge between dreaming and doing, the currency of success. Think about it. You can have the most brilliant plans, right? The most inspiring goals, but without action, they remain just that, dreams. It's in the daily grind, in the consistent effort that dreams transform into tangible results.
It's like that story about Tom, an ordinary guy who accomplished incredible things. He didn't possess any unique talent or privilege. His secret weapon, daily action. Tom understood that success is a marathon, not a sprint. And he showed up every single day, even when he didn't feel like it, just chipping away at his goals, one step at a time.
And what's interesting is so many people saw Tom's success and just chalked it up to simple luck. They missed the unseen years of dedicated effort, the countless hours of focused work that went into building that success. That's the thing about success. It's often built in the quiet moments, in the consistent effort that most people don't see.
It's about winning, that internal battle against the voice that whispers, take a break, or hit the snooze button, or do it tomorrow. It's about choosing growth over comfort, even when it's hard.
You're absolutely right. There's this constant push and pull between our desire for comfort, right?
Yeah.
And our drive for growth. It's like we have these two selves, one seeking ease and the other yearning for expansion. And the key is learning to discern the voice of our higher self, the one that knows our true potential and urges us towards it.
That makes so much sense. But how do we win that battle day after day? Can willpower alone really be the answer?
Willpower is essential, but it is a limited resource, like a muscle that gets tired. That's why building strong habits is so crucial. Habits make those positive actions automatic, taking the decision-making out of the equation, freeing up our willpower for bigger challenges.
So it's about embedding those positive actions so deeply into our routines that they become second nature. What are some powerful strategies for cultivating those unshakable habits?
Well, one of the most effective strategies is to, start small. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Focus on one small habit you can commit to every single day. It could be as simple as reading 10 pages of a book, or making one extra sales call, or practicing a new skill for 15 minutes.
It's like that snowball effect. Small action repeated consistently gains momentum over time, creating this ripple effect that leads to massive change.
I love that. What are some other ways we can set ourselves up for success when it comes to habit building? Environment design plays a huge role. It's about consciously shaping your surroundings to make those desired actions easier and more inviting. For instance, if you want to read more, place books strategically around your home, where you're likely to see them.
It's like leaving yourself little reminders.
Yeah.
Tempting yourself with knowledge and inspiration throughout the day.
Exactly. Or if you're committed to eating healthier, stock your fridge with nutritious foods and get rid of the junk food. Make healthy choices the easiest choices. It's about removing those temptations and setting yourself up for success.
It's about creating an environment that supports your goals rather than sabotaging them. I love that. So we're removing obstacles and making it easier to do what we set out to do. But is there something deeper, something beyond the strategies and the tactics that ultimately drives our actions?
You've hit the nail on the head. No strategy, no matter how brilliant, will work unless you have a strong why driving you. It's about identifying that deeper purpose, that burning desire that fuels your actions, the goal that's bigger than your excuses.
You mean that unshakable reason that keeps us going, even when we face challenges and setbacks?
Exactly. It's what gives you that unwavering commitment to show up day after day, even when you don't feel like it. It's about connecting to that deeper purpose, that driving force that gets you out of bed every morning, ready to conquer the day.
That's so powerful. It's about knowing your why, creating an environment that supports you, and building those powerful habits. It's a recipe for sustained success. But with all this focus on taking action, how do we avoid burnout? Where does rest and recovery fit into this equation?
That's a great question. Rest is often overlooked, but it's absolutely crucial for sustained action. It's not laziness. It's a strategic pause that allows you to recharge and perform at your best. Think about it. If you had a machine that printed money, would you run it 24/7 until it broke down?
Of course not. You'd take care of it, maintain it, give it regular breaks to ensure it stays in top condition.
Exactly. And you, my friend, are a far more valuable machine than any money printing contraption. Your body and mind are your most valuable assets. You need to treat them with care. Give them the rest they need to function optimally. Rest and recovery aren't luxuries, they're essential for long-term success.
So we're building in time for rest, recharging our batteries, and prioritizing our well-being. That's brilliant. But sometimes, even with a strong why and a supportive environment, we get tripped up by our own need for things to be perfect. How do we overcome that tendency towards perfectionism?
Perfectionism is a cunning trap, often disguised as striving for excellence. While aiming high is commendable, perfectionism can become a paralyzing force. It makes us so afraid of making a mistake, of not getting things just right, that we end up taking no action at all.
It's like that saying, done is better than perfect. But how do we break free from that need for everything to be flawless before we take action?
It's about embracing imperfection, recognizing that action, even imperfect action, is always better than inaction. You don't have to have it all figured out, you just have to start. Think of a child learning to walk. Do they give up after the first stumble? Of course not. They fall, they get up, they try again. And through that process of imperfect action, they eventually master the skill of walking. It's the same with any skill, any goal we pursue. It's through those imperfect actions, through those stumbles and falls, that we learn, adapt, and ultimately achieve mastery.
It's about embracing the journey with all its messiness and imperfections rather than getting stuck in the illusion of perfection. But even when we embrace imperfection, another hurdle often emerges. Fear. How do we navigate the fear of failure, the fear of success, all those anxieties that can hold us back?
Fear is a powerful emotion, and it can be paralyzing if we let it control us. But here's a fascinating perspective. Fear can often be a compass pointing us towards the areas where we need to grow the most. Think about it. The things we fear most are often the very things that have the potential to transform us.
So instead of seeing fear as a stop sign, we can view it as a signpost, guiding us towards our greatest potential.
Exactly. It takes courage to face those fears, to step outside of our comfort zones and take action despite feeling afraid. And each time we do, we expand our capacity for courage, building a resilience that empowers us to face future challenges with greater confidence.
It's like building a muscle. The more we exercise our courage muscle, the stronger it becomes. But sometimes, even with courage on our side, we need a little extra support. How does accountability play a role in this journey of daily action?
Accountability is a powerful tool, especially when it comes to staying consistent with our actions. It's much easier to break promises to ourselves than to let others down. Having an accountability partner, a mentor, or a coach can make a huge difference.
It's like having someone in your corner, cheering you on, but also holding you accountable to your commitments, someone who believes in you even when you doubt yourself.
Precisely. It's about finding those people who will challenge you to grow, support you through the tough times, and celebrate your victories along the way. And if you can't find someone like that in your immediate circle, seek them out. Join a mastermind group, hire a coach, or find an online community of like-minded individuals who are committed to growth and achievement.
The power of community is undeniable. It's about surrounding ourselves with those who inspire us, who challenge us to become better versions of ourselves, and who remind us that we're not alone on this journey. But even with a strong support system and unwavering commitment, how do we stay patient in a world that often rewards instant gratification?
You've touched on a crucial point. We live in a culture obsessed with instant results, but anything truly worthwhile takes time and consistent effort. We've lost the art of patience. The understanding that true growth is often slow and steady, like the roots of a bamboo tree.
I've heard that analogy before, about how bamboo spends years developing a strong root system underground before it explodes into rapid growth.
Exactly. It's a powerful reminder that just because we don't see immediate results doesn't mean that growth isn't happening beneath the surface. Trust the process, stay committed to your daily actions, and know that patience is a superpower that allows you to achieve what others seeking quick fixes cannot.
It's about playing the long game, trusting the process, and knowing that consistent effort combined with patience yields extraordinary results. But while we're being patient and playing the long game, how do we stay motivated along the way? How do we celebrate the journey and keep our spirits high?
Celebrating our wins, no matter how small, is essential for maintaining motivation and momentum. It's about acknowledging our efforts, giving ourselves a pat on the back for sticking to our commitments, and recognizing that every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory worth celebrating.
It's like giving ourselves permission to enjoy the journey, to savor the small wins, and to recharge our motivation along the way. What are some effective ways to celebrate our progress and keep our spirits high?
Well, it doesn't have to be anything grand or elaborate. It could be as simple as taking a moment to reflect on how far you've come. sharing your win with a friend, or indulging in a small treat that brings you joy. The key is to find ways to acknowledge your efforts and make the journey more enjoyable.
It's about creating a positive feedback loop where each celebration reinforces those positive actions and fuels our motivation to keep moving forward. But sometimes the biggest obstacles we face are the ones we create in our own minds. What role does our self-talk play in this journey of daily action?
The way we talk to ourselves, our inner dialogue, has a profound impact on our actions. That inner voice can be either our greatest cheerleader or our harshest critic.
I think we've all experienced that negative self-talk at some point. The
Mhm.
voice that whispers, "You're not good enough. You'll never achieve your goals," or "What's the point of even trying?"
Exactly. And when we allow that negative self-talk to dominate our minds, it can sabotage our efforts and keep us stuck in a cycle of self-doubt. But here's the empowering truth. We have the power to change that inner dialogue.
So how do we rewrite that script and turn that inner critic into a supportive ally?
It's about becoming aware of those negative thought patterns and consciously choosing to replace them with more empowering phrases. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," try saying, "I'm learning to do this." Instead of, "This is too hard," try, "This is challenging, but I'm growing stronger through the process."
It's about consciously choosing to be kind to ourselves, to speak to ourselves with the same encouragement and support that we would offer to a dear friend. But sometimes, even with positive self-talk, we get tripped up by comparing ourselves to others. How do we navigate that tendency in a world where everyone seems to be showcasing their highlight reels?
Comparison is the thief of joy, and it's a trap that's easy to fall into in today's hyper-connected world. We're constantly bombarded with images and stories of other people's successes, which can make us feel inadequate or like we're not doing enough. But here's the truth. The only person you need to compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday.
So it's not about competing with others, it's about striving to become the best version of ourselves.
Exactly. Focus on your own journey, celebrate your own progress, and remember that everyone is on their own unique path. What might seem like a sprint for someone else could be a marathon for you, and that's perfectly okay.
It's about honoring our own timelines, celebrating our own unique journeys, and recognizing that success is not a destination, but a continuous process of growth and evolution.
You got it. And speaking of process, let's talk about the power of systems. You see, while goals provide a direction, a vision of where we want to go, systems are the vehicles that actually get us there.
Can you elaborate on the difference between goals and systems?
A goal is your desired outcome, while a system is the set of processes, habits, and routines that you implement to achieve that outcome. For instance, if your goal is to write a book, your system might involve writing 500 words every day, attending a writing workshop each week, and setting aside dedicated time for research and outlining.
So it's not about relying on motivation or inspiration, which can be fleeting, but rather creating a structure, a system that makes those desired actions more automatic and sustainable.
Precisely. Systems remove the emotion from the equation, making it easier to stay consistent even when you don't feel like it.
That's incredibly powerful. Systems over goals, got it. But even with the best systems in place, life happens. How do we stay flexible and adaptable when things don't go according to plan?
Flexibility is key. While consistency is crucial, it's equally important to be able to adapt and adjust when life throws us curveballs. It's about finding that balance between structure and flexibility.
So if I normally work out in the morning, but an unexpected meeting pops up, I don't just skip my workout altogether. I find a way to fit it in later in the day or adjust my plan for the week.
Exactly. It's about focusing on the essence of your action, not necessarily the specifics. If your goal is to move your body for 30 minutes every day, it doesn't have to be a gym workout. It could be a brisk walk, a dance class, or a yoga session at home.
It's about finding creative solutions and adapting our systems to fit the ever-changing demands of life.
That's right. And it's also about recognizing that discomfort is often a sign of growth. When we push ourselves outside of our comfort zones, when we embrace new challenges, it's natural to feel a sense of unease.
So instead of avoiding discomfort, we can actually view it as a signal that we're on the right track, that we're stretching ourselves and expanding our capabilities.
Exactly. Embrace the discomfort, knowing that it's a temporary phase, and that on the other side of that discomfort lies incredible growth, expansion, and fulfillment.
It's about reframing our relationship with discomfort, seeing it not as something to be avoided, but rather as a catalyst for transformation.
Beautifully said. And it's important to remember that while our environment shapes us, we also have the power to shape our environment.
You're referring to the concept of environment design, which we touched on earlier. It's about consciously creating a space that supports our goals and aspirations.
Exactly. It's about surrounding ourselves with people who inspire us, filling our minds with positive and uplifting content, and designing our physical spaces in a way that encourages us to take action.
It's about creating a sanctuary for growth, a space where we feel energized, inspired, and empowered to take action towards our dreams. It's about creating a space that reflects our values, you know, inspires our creativity, and supports our commitment to personal growth. But even with the perfect environment, there are days when uh, motivation just seems to disappear. How do we take action even when we don't feel like it?
Well, here's a powerful shift in perspective. Motivation is often a byproduct of action, not a prerequisite. We've been conditioned to believe that we need to wait for motivation to strike before we take action, right? But the truth is, action often creates motivation.
So instead of waiting for that burst of inspiration, we just start, even if it's with a small, imperfect step.
Exactly. Think about those times you've dragged yourself to the gym, right? Feeling completely unmotivated, but then as you start moving, as you get into the workout, you start to feel that energy, that motivation surging through you.
It's like the act of taking action itself sparks the motivation we need to keep going.
That's the magic of it. So the next time you're feeling stuck in a rut, don't wait for motivation to magically appear. Choose an action, any action that aligns with your goals, and just start. The motivation will follow.
It's like we're breaking free from that cycle of procrastination, from that belief that we need to feel inspired before we can take action. But even when we understand the power of action before motivation, it's easy to get sidetracked, to lose sight of the bigger picture. How do we stay connected to our why and ensure that our daily actions are aligned with our deepest purpose?
Reconnecting with your why. It's like consulting a tempest. It helps you stay on course, especially when you encounter obstacles or feel tempted to stray from your path. Write down your why, visualize it, and feel it in your bones. Remind yourself daily why you're doing what you're doing, and let that purpose fuel your actions.
It's like having a guiding star, a constant reminder of the bigger picture, the ultimate destination we're striving for. And as we navigate this journey, how do we ensure that our daily actions are not just random acts of busyness, but rather deliberate steps towards creating a life we truly love?
It all comes down to our habits. Our habits, those small actions we repeat day after day, are the building blocks of our lives. They shape our character, influence our outcomes, and ultimately determine the quality of our lives.
So if we want to change our lives, we need to change our habits. But habit change can be challenging. What are some effective strategies for cultivating positive habits that support our goals and lead us towards a more fulfilling life?
Well, the first step is awareness. Identify those habits that are no longer serving you, the ones that are holding you back or keeping you stuck in a rut. Then, focus on replacing those negative habits with positive ones that are aligned with your goals and values.
It's like we're consciously choosing to design our lives one habit at a time, building a foundation for success, happiness, and fulfillment. But even with the best intentions, we all stumble from time to time. How do we deal with those inevitable setbacks and ensure that we don't allow failure to derail our progress?
Reframing our relationship with failure is crucial. Instead of viewing failure as a sign of weakness or a reason to give up, see it as valuable feedback, as an opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. Remember, every successful person has encountered countless failures along the way.
It's like those failures were not roadblocks, but rather stepping stones guiding them towards their ultimate destination.
That's a beautiful way to put it. Embrace failure, learn from it, and use it as fuel to propel you forward. And remember, the only true failure is giving up. Everything else is just part of the learning process.
This has been an incredible deep dive into the power of daily action. We've covered so much ground, from crafting powerful habits and embracing imperfection to conquering fear and aligning with our why. What an incredible journey.
It's been a privilege to explore these concepts with you. Remember, success is not a grand event. It's the culmination of countless small choices, consistent actions, and unwavering commitment.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I have one final question for you. What's one small action you can commit to taking every single day for the next week to move you closer to the extraordinary life that's waiting for you? Share your commitment in the comments below. Let's create a ripple effect of action, inspiring ourselves and others to unlock our limitless potential.